Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh dan salam sejahtera.
Salam
Majlis akan dimulakan tidak berapa lama lagi dan untuk itu sukacita memaklumkan agar para hadirin sekalian dapat memastikan telefon tidak diaktifkan bagi mengelakkan sembarang gangguan dan majlis dapat berjalan dengan lancar. Terima kasih. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Tuan-tuan dan puan-puan, para peserta Exilib yang dihormati. Program Exilib sesi ketiga akan diteruskan lagi pada petang ini. Bagi memberkati majlis pada petang ini, marilah kita sama-sama mulakan majlis dengan bacaan umum kitab Al-Fatihah. Ya amin amin ya rabbal alamin. Yang berusaha teknologis Dr. Siti Arfah binti Nordin, Consultant Sentry Solutions. Yang berusaha Puan Zahara binti Abdul Samad, Ketua Pustakawan Perpustakaan Tunku Tun Aminah UTHM, merangkap Ketua Program Exilib. Yang dihormati Puan Muazzah binti Syarudin, mantan Ketua Pustakawan Universiti Teknologi Malaysia selaku moderator. Barisan Ketua-Ketua Pustakawan Universiti Awam, Barisan Timbalan-Timbalan Ketua Pustakawan Universiti Awam, tuan-tuan, puan-puan, para peserta program yang dihormati. Program Exilib sesi ketiga akan diteruskan dengan perkongsian oleh Yang Berusaha Teknologis Dr. Siti Arfah binti Nordin. Untuk makluman, program ini akan dikendalikan oleh Puan Muazzah binti Syarudin selaku moderator program. Tanpa melengahkan masa, majlis dengan segala hormatnya mempersilakan Puan Muazzah binti Syarudin bersama Yang Berusaha Teknologis Dr. Siti Arfah binti Nordin dengan topik Plan and Strategies in Implementing Knowledge Management Program. Dengan segala hormatnya dipersilakan.
Terima kasih Saudara Ahmad Faisal. Yang Berusaha Teknologis Dr. Siti Arfah binti Nordin, Consultant Sentry Solutions. Yang Berusaha Puan Haja Zahra binti Abdul Samad, Ketua Pustakawan Perpustakaan UTHM, merangkap Ketua Program Exilib, Barisan Ketua-Ketua Pustakawan Universiti Awam, Timbalan-Timbalan Ketua Pustakawan, tuan-tuan perempuan dan semua peserta program Exilib yang dihormati. Alhamdulillah ya, petang ni kita masih lagi dapat meneruskan program dan kita rasa betul hari ini ya, kita ada Dr. Siti Arfah ya, yang akan bersama-sama kita pada petang ini ya. Jadi topik yang akan beliau kupas adalah Plan and Strategies in Implementing Knowledge Management Program. Pagi tadi pun kita dah dengar macam-macam banyak aspek mengenai IKM dan sekarang ni kita fokus pada how to go about, bagaimana strategi untuk kita implement KM programs di universiti masing-masing ya. Sebelum kita mendengar kupasan dari yang berbahagia doktor, izinkan saya membacakan sedikit profil biodata Dr. Siti Arfah ya. Okey. Teknologis Dr. Siti Arfah Nordin sekarang adalah Senior Consultant di Sentry Solution yang beribu pejabat di Shah Alam ya. Sebelum ini beliau memulakan kerjaya di SIRIM ya, sebagai Executive Information ya, Technical Information Executive di SIRIM. Kemudian beliau menjadi staff akademik di Fakulti Pengurusan Maklumat di UiTM ya sehingga 2021. Kelayakan akademik beliau adalah beliau mempunyai doctorate dalam knowledge management dari Newcastle University dan MBA dari Oklahoma University USA dan Bachelor of Science Library Science UiTM. So Dr. Siti Arfah memang PhD dalam knowledge management. Jadi amat tepat sekali ya kita memilih beliau untuk mengenai IKM ini ya. Dan beliau juga terlibat dalam banyak kerja-kerja pentadbiran yang melibatkan kualiti ya. Contohnya beliau juga adalah Head of Quality Unit Fakulti Information Management, Head of Quality and Strategic Planning MASMED, Program Coordinator bagi MSc Knowledge Management di UiTM. Expertise beliau adalah on KM, Strategies and Tools ya. human relation, marketing of library, research method dan sebagainya. Dr. Siti Arfa juga terlibat banyak dengan aktiviti-aktiviti pengantarabangsa dan juga industri, industri linkages. Di antaranya beliau juga adalah WHO Research Grant, dan juga beliau adalah team leader bagi Global Knowledge Research Survey bersama Leeds University UK, visiting scholar Universities Indonesia, panel Doctoral Research Colloquium, Sukhothai University Thailand, academic advisor bagi UNICEF, academic advisor bagi DRB HICOM dan berbagai organisasi lain juga, dan dia banyak memenangi awards di dalam dan luar negara. Jadi dari segi grant, research grant, Dr. Siti Arfa mempunyai 2 international grant, 22 national grant, internal 11 research grant yang totalnya adalah lebih daripada 1.6 juta ringgit. So banyaklah cost grant tersebut. Jadi dari segi publication, Dr. Siti Arfa telah menulis lebih kurang 71 publication dan H-index beliau adalah 8. Ramai juga yang graduated di bawah penyeliaan beliau, iaitu 10 orang pelajar PhD dan 1 master. Jadi beliau juga terlibat dengan banyak kerja-kerja consultation dan juga expertise. Tentunya adalah dia juga adalah academic advisor external untuk library management program, UNICEF, academic advisor for Faculty of Communication, Visual Arts and Computing UNICEF, juga panel for PhD candidate colloquium UM, visiting scholar Universitas Indonesia dan beberapa lagi organisasi luar. Sebenarnya biodata Dr. Siti panjang, tetapi saya hanya membacakan ringkas sahaja, simplified version, Doktor. Okay, so itu tadi biodata Dr. Siti Arfa yang saya rasakan ianya amat bertepatanlah sebab fokus kepada research beliau adalah knowledge management. Jadi tanpa melengahkan masa lagi, saya menjemput teknologis Dr. Siti Arfa binti Nordin untuk berkongsi topik pada sesi kita yang ketiga ni, Doktor, tajuknya Plan and Strategies in Implementing KM Program. Silakan, Doktor.
Okay, terima kasih moderator Puan Nur Aziah dan juga kepada pihak bersetia dan juga mereka yang terlibat dalam jayakan program hari ini. Alhamdulillah, I'm very much rasa appreciated lah being called untuk berkongsi pengalaman. Okay, tambah sedikit lah. I was formerly a librarian for the past selama 12 tahun sebelum saya join menjadi pensyarah di UiTM. Sebelum SIRIM, saya pernah bekerja di Rubber Research Institute dan juga Public Library of Selangor lah. Just immediately selepas saya graduated. Okay, apa yang saya nak berkongsi hari ini lebih kepada putting myself dalam putting myself dalam keadaan di mana awalnya saya cuba absorb KM. Okay. Saya mohon maaf lah kepada sesiapa mungkin dah lebih advance, tapi I believe ramai yang agak muda, adik-adik yang saya rasa tentunya struggle to understand what KM is all about. Okay. Saya mulakan perbincangan hari ini. I have a slides to share. Slide tu agak panjang, tapi I will skip yang mana yang tidak, yang I think everybody dah tahu. Saya akan skip. So bear with me with the slides. Okay, dan kalau in between you want to ask question boleh, atau selepas ini pun boleh. Okay, saya mulakan by sharing my slide ni.
Kita ada sesi soal jawab di hujung. By the meantime, yang peserta bolehlah dia bertanya kepada Dr. Siti ya, setiap soalan tu. Kumpul soalan ya.
Okay, boleh tak saya nak host disable participant screen sharing? Boleh enable my screen sharing, boleh tak?
Sebentar ya doktor.
Okay, no problem. Okay, tak apa. Okay, sebelum saya share, saya cerita sedikit tentang pengalaman saya di UiTM sendiri. Bagaimana, kalau orang tanya I am teaching knowledge management, saya keluar and talk about knowledge management, I write on knowledge management, I do research on knowledge management. But when people ask me, how is knowledge management at UiTM? So far dah di mana? Okay. Itu antara, I will share this some failure factors kenapa knowledge management tidak jadi. Okay. Di UiTM sendiri, we have more than 18,000 staff altogether. We have 35 cawangan throughout the nation. Kita ada lebih kurang 100, almost 180,000 of pelajar. Saya pernah terlibat 2 attempt untuk set up knowledge management initiative ataupun nak start knowledge management function di UiTM. Pertamanya sekitar tahun 2003, before I pursue my PhD. We have already started our awareness initiative, the familiarization process of KM at various level, the top management sampai ke the dean and pentadbir. We managed to do that. We have our roadmap dan sebagainya. But I got a scholarship. Of course, I want to know more about KM. Kenapa saya pergi buat my PhD in knowledge management? The faculty wanted to offer knowledge management, masters in knowledge management last time. But our first attempt was rejected by KPT. Sebab dia tidak nampak perbezaan antara IM dan KM. Perbezaan is only 1 or 2 subject. Okay. So that is why my topic for my PhD is knowledge management competencies. What industry look for when they would like to employ KM personnel? Apa dia nak? Okay, what competencies they look at? That's the reason kenapa saya continue. And the lead player dalam KM initiative at that time adalah another friend of mine from computer science. After 1 semester, 1 year, 1 semester saya pergi buat my PhD, she also continue her knowledge management PhD also. Bila berlakunya perkara tersebut and the top leader yang initiate our yang memayungkan our KM initiative was our timbalan Net Chancellor Academic at that time, and he also retires. Okay, dan bila saya balik memang benda tu tak berlaku lah. Then it happened again sekitar I think about 5 or 6 years ago, bila saya ada seorang pelajar yang jadi system analyst, then only she realized that she need to do something the IT department. She wanted to embark on KM, so I was part of the team as well. But tak sampai 6 bulan, ada reshuffle of staff. The IT department was now deployed. Instead of having a centralized IT department, dipecah-pecahkan. So again, it is another failure. So I will share with you some of the things yang macam mana saya experience last time. Okay.
Boleh share tak doktor? Dah boleh dah.
Okay, saya share. Okay, boleh nampak clearly tak?
Boleh.
Okay, alright. Okay, I have 42 slides, tapi saya akan skip lah the tacit and explicit knowledge tu semua saya akan skip later. This is the topic given to me to share with you the plan and strategies in implementing KM. Okay, sebenarnya saya tak nak go very detail about implementing knowledge management sangat. Okay, because what I am trying to share with you is to make most of you, especially the young ones, the senior ones, I believe you all dah biasa dengan knowledge management. You have to understand what knowledge management is all about. Okay, having a knowledge repository is not a KM. Itu sebab kita kata, kita biasa dengar top management wanted us to change our name to knowledge center. Okay, then suddenly you change your name, you are now practicing knowledge management. You are not. Okay, having a knowledge repository. Saya bercakap dengan librarian, mereka kata yes, kita ada a knowledge management team. We have knowledge repositories. That is not KM also. Okay, what is knowledge management? When we talk about knowledge management, we are talking about knowledge sharing, we are talking about knowledge transfer, knowledge acquisition, knowledge creation, which kita selama ni memang ada. Okay, bila kita nak impose ataupun bila kita nak kata we need to have knowledge management in place, we are talking about promoting knowledge sharing. Then people will start asking us, selama ni saya share knowledge pun, why do we need knowledge management now? Okay, so as a librarian, we are what I'm trying to say that kita sama je. Okay, our role sama dengan department-department yang lain. Okay, when in terms of knowledge, sama. Okay, because all of us, we have a package of knowledge. We have our expertise, we have our qualification, we have our skills, semua ada. So setiap seorang dari kita yang duduk dalam setiap organisasi, kita ada package of knowledge. We come with package dengan qualification, dengan pengalaman kita. Everybody has their bit of knowledge. Okay. Alright. Okay. Let's look at this scenario. Okay, saya ambil data in 2019. The total spending on employee training globally reached 370 billion. This is according to Training Industry Magazine 2019. Okay, how much we spend on skills and competency development. Okay, we send staff for training from the very start they enter the organisation sampai habis, because every year memang ada KPI yang we have to fulfill as an employee. We have certain training KPI. Okay, so organizations spend that much, and then we are talking about global training spending. And Pearl Zhu mentioned that silo builds a wall in people's mind and creates a barrier in organization hearts. Okay, we are very comfortable working on doing what we do for many years. Okay, kadang-kadang especially kalau you are working in an IT setting, people dekat IT, they don't socialize like other people's punya trend of socialization. For example, they will sit at their computer. If they have problem, contohnya, while writing a program, dia tak perlu bercakap dengan kawan sebelah how to go about. Kawan dia akan post saja, okay, please do some debugging, boleh tak? I have problem with my. Kadang-kadang kita tengok setiap hari how programming language tu, the algorithm tu, kadang-kadang kita tak nampak. Orang, it needs another person, oh you miss out comma, you miss out satu word dan sebagainya. So that is about programming. Similarly, katalah now dalam environment bekerja, we are talking about IT environment, if we have problems on certain issues and while doing our work, we have WhatsApp. Sekarang ni problems are being shared, solved secara online. So makin lama kita makin selesa dengan our silo environment. Okay, we don't bother about other people. Memang teknologi memudahkan, but at times kita jadi complacent dengan what we have around us saja. Okay, Ken Blanchard kata none of us is as smart as all of us. Knowledge sharing promotes, knowledge management promotes knowledge sharing. Okay, so I have a PhD in knowledge management, but my individual knowledge tidak akan sama dengan a pool of knowledge asset when we talk about knowledge management. Okay, dalam organisation, and if we have more than one people know about knowledge management, because my PhD I studied on knowledge management competencies. Similarly, dalam library, kalau you kata we have one expert in open source contoh, okay, one person punya capabilities is very limited. Then that is where we have to come together. Siapa yang ada interest in open source, we should come as a committee of practice. Siapa yang very good in mobile application for libraries, we should come together and come up with a new, kita ada committee of practice, particularly in that particular domain. Okay, according to Maria Khan, power is gained by sharing knowledge, not hoarding it. On average, people move jobs every 4.4 years. This is according to Forbes. And when people leave the organization, what is happening is that they take parts of the organizational brain. Okay, organizational brain consists of everybody's brain. So katalah macam Puan Nur Azia ada pencen, Puan Siti Sumaizan pencen. Actually, kalau kita, semasa keberadaan mereka, kita tidak tap their valuable knowledge, knowledge workout phenomenon berlaku. Okay, so that is what knowledge management is trying to do. Okay. Okay, I think librarians are very good in identifying data, information and knowledge. Sepatutnya lah. Cumanya, what I'm trying to say, kalau kita masih lagi kata we are taking care of knowledge repositories, kita masih di sini. Kita masih lagi di information. Okay, how do we take action by adding our expert opinion, by putting our skills and experience to make a solid decision. Okay, I have one master students. He was back in 2008 to 2010. Seorang pustakawan dari UTM, Encik Razik Karno. He was my student. Okay. Apabila dia buat biblo mining, data mining, that is an example of trying to give meaning to a plain data. Okay, data yang dia dapat, dia data, because library ini is considered as a knowledge reservoir. Kita banyak sangat data, kita banyak sangat statistik. Dia cuma bawa 3 years punya borrowing history, 130 K of title author of books title, and 31K of registered readers punya data. From there, dia tengok patterns, dia tengok trends, and dia discover ada buku yang tidak pernah dipinjam selama 10 tahun, for example. Okay, dia discover siapa lebih banyak meminjam. Macam mana dia associate the users and the borrowing pattern. Those are example of how do you transform information, data information kepada knowledge. Okay, and today we are talking about live chat. We are talking about now reference work are also being conducted live chat dengan librarians ke what not. Dengan adanya social media, we have Facebook and everything, itu semua boleh di-capture. Data-data tersebut tadi yang tadi bila kita sebut data analytics, kita boleh buat sentiment analysis. Ataupun complaints, okay? Complaints daripada users, semua kita boleh analyze from data yang kita ada. Okay, so that is what knowledge management is all about. It is very kenapa saya buat actually my understanding of KM was different last time. I still thought that KM and IM tak banyak beza until I attended a course 1 minggu, ada exam and whatnot back in late 90s. Saya pergi more than 20 years ago. Then only I realized, oh I see, KM ni dia sebenarnya tengok from different perspective. Kenapa I attend that training? Because there's one librarian at that time, saya attend satu KM conference. Dia kata KM is only it's not new. It is just old wine in new bottles. Dia kata. Which I am not satisfied lah. Sebab kalau namanya IM dan tukar kepada KM, mesti ada something different there. Okay, so that is what motivate me to know more about KM. Apatah lagi when the faculty wanted to offer knowledge management at master's level, kemudian it was turned down by the ministry. Okay, knowledge definition, kalau a simple direct definition from Oxford English Dictionary, it is expertise, skill acquired by a person through experience or education. The theoretical or practical understanding of a subject. What is known in a particular field or in total, the awareness or familiarity gained by experience of a fact or situation. So this is a very basic definition of knowledge. However, saya suka ambil a definition dari Davenport and Prusek. These are one of these two, Larry Prusek and Davenport ni, dia memang one of a few KM gurus lah. Okay, they define knowledge as a fluid mix of frame experience. Knowledge ni yang macam tadi kita kata, we have a package of knowledge. We have experience with us. We have values. Everybody have their own values. We have contextual information. We look at things differently based on how we are being brought up, bagaimana kita berdasarkan kepada pengalaman kita. Okay, everybody has expert insights, grounded intuition that provides an environment and framework for evaluating and incorporating new experience. Okay, so that is what knowledge is all about. So dalam organisation, this is what we are looking at. Knowledge management is focusing at this sebenarnya. Okay, so bila kita kata kita ada kebanyakan yang saya tanya, kalau academic libraries memang dia ada knowledge repositories, but it goes back to the same thing. Okay, it is only an IT is only an enabler. What do you have there? Apa yang ada dalam tu? Okay, let us untuk the young ones yang muda-muda dari saya ni, how knowledge economy started. From the very beginning, it started with agrarian economy, di mana land and labor is considered as a vital production factor. Okay, dulu-dulu kalau kita kata you ada tanah, you ada tulang 4 kerat, enough. Okay, you can survive. Okay, however, kemudian kita move to industrial based economy, di mana physical resources besides land and equipment, financial and human resources are the production factors. Okay, all these akan influence the performance and wealth generation of the firms. Okay, later on, now kita move kepada knowledge based economy. Now only they realize the primary factors dalam organization performance adalah knowledge. You can have very good machine, you can have that so many people in your organization, you might have your financial resources, semua you ada. Tapi when your knowledge tu is lacking. So the know-how tak ada, expertise tak ada, skill, experience, creativity tak ada. No point having so many staff tapi tak ada creativity. So that is why we keep on, kalau kita tengok kenapa ada pinch of staff di mana, especially private sector. Okay, kenapa sentiasa ada, dulu memang ada I have friends yang duduk di HR department dalam one of the oil and gas company, and although another oil and gas company yang Malaysian oil and gas, Petronas lah. So dia kalau punch the staff, dia bukan ambil seorang. Dia beli the whole strategies from oil and gas company A masuk dalam oil and gas company B. Okay, masa I came back from my masters last time, ramailah masa tu kami balik. Those yang balik from yang ada PhD in biotechnology, that was many years back, 20 over years back. So beberapa orang yang balik, my friend yang balik with biotech punya PhD, easily mereka dibeli oleh Petronas. Okay, they just bayar, they breach the contract, the company pay, because they are buying not the person, they are buying the know-how, they are buying the expertise, they are buying the skill. So that is what now dalam knowledge-based economy, they are looking into knowledge rather than we are talking about physical resources just now. Okay, bila ada knowledge economy, organization are based dalam knowledge economy, we have to have knowledge-based organization. We have to be a knowledge-centric organization, whereby dalam knowledge-based organization, we create knowledge, we collect, we organize, we refine, and so on. Okay, so it is a paradigm shift in embracing knowledge-driven organization within the work culture. Okay, sebab tu, according to Hiroyuki Itami, Professor of Management, kata, the real competitive advantage not come from the visible asset. It is more on the invisible asset. The name of the company, the reputation, the pattern that the company has, you know, skills and expertise yang dia ada. Sometimes kita tak faham kenapa satu company kalau dibeli oleh company yang lain, dia jadi sangat-sangat mahal, padahal kita tengok the company is not that expensive pada kita, padahal dia ada invisible asset. Okay, so dalam knowledge-driven organization, we have to have knowledge workers. We are the knowledge workers, and we are talking about libraries. We are considered as a knowledge-intensive work. Kita involved dengan knowledge all the time. Workers who uses expert judgment and takes in knowledge more than muscular effort or routine actions. Contoh, let's look at one industry. Example dekat sini. Tak semestinya when we say about knowledge workers, it has to be somebody yang ada jawatan yang tinggi. It is the engineers or doctors or whatnot. Okay, it can be anyone in your organization. The IT department di UiTM last time, bila I have my IT student yang buat knowledge management last time, bila dia belajar knowledge management, then only dia realise dia dah, because she was system analyst. At that time dia dah retire dah. Dia kata baru only dia realise we have one person by the name of Encik Sulaiman. For the past 30 over years, dia jaga server UiTM throughout. Okay, and dia jadi sangat panik at that time because Encik Sulaiman is going to retire in 1 year time. Dia kata siapa pelapis dia? Okay, so they don't have that. Dia tidak realise that we need to do something. Kita kena buat scenario capturing, kita kena ada apprenticeship, or kita kena ada mentor and mentee, just to make sure that knowledge yang ada pada Encik Sulaiman, because Encik Sulaiman is the person yang dari dulu for the past 30 years jaga server UiTM. So itu yang baru dia nampak, that triggers her, dia kata oh, something need to be done. Okay, so dalam konteks library pun we are talking about that. Okay, siapa expert, siapa cataloging champion, siapa reference champion kita, siapa RDA ke, we are talking about Dublin Core ke, who are those people yang kita tidak tap the knowledge. So kalau, ataupun kita tak kisah, okay, that all these people yang ada that skill tu boleh di-replace by anybody. Okay. So it can be anybody in the highly trained specialist. Kalau tak tengok dalam konteks library pun, tengok dalam konteks, for example, I own a company, saya own a restaurant. Okay, saya own a restaurant, saya ada satu corner, I have one roti canai. So another section, I have siapa yang buat air, pasti all this lauk pauk and everything. Modal roti canai is very minimal. Okay, everybody boleh makan. Tapi to replace, kadang-kadang kita datang, mamak, kalau kita pergi kedai mamak, pernah tak kita kata, oh roti canai tak ada. Kalau tak ada, mesti habis. Dia tak ada kata roti canai, orang buat roti canai hari ni tak ada demam ke, tak ada. Okay? Because that is dia punya strategic knowledge asset. Okay? For kedai mamak tu, roti canai itulah dia punya heart of the business. As compared to kedai Melayu, kalau kita kata, oh kita suka dia punya kari ke apa, kita datang, oh hari ni tak boleh sebab orang yang buat roti canai tak ada, dia demam. Sedangkan itu dekat situ bisnes yang you boleh. Again, you have to know what is the strategic knowledge asset. Okay, dalam setiap organisation, apa sebenarnya kita nak find out. Apa yang kita nak simpan. That goes to many years back when one of my friend dekat Sirin minta advice. Dia kata dia nak buat repository juga. I kata, what do you want to put in your repository? Dia kata dia nak letak artikel-artikel researchers. Which dia kata dia tak dapat good response from the researchers. Sebab researchers tak nak share. Researchers kata dia dah publish. People can easily go to that online database. They can look at the publication, which is very true. So again, you must understand, you must know what is it that you would like to put in your repository. Okay, library ni kita ada sikap macam tadilah, macam Dr. Alwi kata, kita ni kalau boleh semua kita nak simpan. Okay, itu habit kita, semua kita nak simpan, kita tak nak buang. Okay, just in case people might ask about it kan, so jadi kita akan simpan. Okay, knowledge as a strategic resource or asset. Okay, sekarang ni bila dalam knowledge based economy ataupun knowledge driven organization, kita position knowledge as a valuable resource that support organization ability to innovate and compete. Okay, why? Because knowledge carries valuable meaning that contribute to greatest impact on organization decision and actions. Tujuannya kita nak reduce uncertainties. Okay, because dengan keadaan semasa hari ini, we are talking about the dynamic of organization. Kita kena sentiasa very agile. So sorry to say, kalau dalam our organization di academic library, mungkin kita tahu who's who in the library sahajalah. Okay, who's who in the, I'm talking about tak payah librarian, I'm talking about me as an academician. UiTM buat new project, hantar satellite baru, we have electric car. We only know the name of the person, oh Dr. So and so is in charge of that project, just that. Okay, tapi lebih dari itu kita tak tahu. Okay, and there are so many more projects yang sedang berjalan dalam UiTM, contohnya I'm talking about UiTM, yang kita tak tahu. Okay, alright. Strategic assets are critical determinants of an organization ability to maintain a sustainable competitive advantage. Okay, therefore kita kena tap the organization pool of knowledge asset to turn it into strategic action. Ini example saya bagi tadi yang Encik Razik Karno, this is example of macam mana dia turn that knowledge asset daripada non-vibrant information kepada knowledge asset. Okay, so how do we manage knowledge? Can we manage intangible knowledge? Tadi kita kata kalau documentation, document semua kita boleh manage. We are very well trained in information management. Okay, tapi how do we manage intangible knowledge? Macam mana tacit knowledge tu kita nak manage? Okay. But my advice is do not jump on the bandwagon simply macam tu. Okay, don't simply invest on technology. Apatah lagi dalam keadaan sekarang, every time now kita pun dah pergi kepada direction kepada open source. It is very dangerous apabila kita invest on technology. Saya pernah pergi satu jabatan kerajaan, they call us, they bought 300,000 knowledge management system. Now it goes back to the ROI. Okay, by year end, setahun atau 2 tahun, people will start asking about the return of investment. Okay, so it is very, very dangerous. Jangan trap into that. Kalau ada knowledge management system je, KMS, it solves your problem. Okay, it's not that. Okay, let's look at why knowledge management failed. Pertama, unclear vision. Kita tak tahu sebenarnya KM strategy ni kita nak align dengan the overall organization strategy. It has to be aligned with the university punya overall strategy. That is the first thing. Okay, kita tak boleh shot sendiri. KM program is to help the business and enhance performance, not as a strategic goal by itself. Okay, sebab apa pun yang kita buat, we have to align dengan the university punya direction. Okay, missing or unclear KM framework that highlight required processes to the KM activities. Actually sebenarnya ramai yang masih tidak clear what KM is all about. Okay, what is KM? Kalau setakat managing information, managing documentation, managing records, it is still information management. It is not knowledge management. Okay, so first of all, you can understand what KM is all about. Okay, lack of a senior management buy-in. Kalau dalam so far yang saya nampak, my first attempt, the top management dah memang faham. Kalau kita pergi jumpa dia, when they call us to talk about KM, dia dah ada buku dah. Kalau ada buku baru je, dia akan terus tunjuk dekat kami, okay, have you read this book? Ni TNC ya. So that will be a very good environment lah. But if you look at KM dalam library itself, if you want to implement knowledge management in library, Alhamdulillah today we have chief librarian and deputy bersama-sama try to understand what KM is all about. That is a very good start already. Okay, supaya bila anak buah nak buat KM, you faham, or you can do it as a top-down approach. Okay, sebenarnya nak buy in tu yang susah. Alright, acknowledging KM as another IT tool for managing knowledge around the organization. Ini yang tadi saya kata, KM is not about IT. Okay, kalau you rasa KM masih lagi is about IT tu, then definitely your KM project will fail. Okay, kita tak nak ada white elephant letak dekat situ. You have a very good system KMS. Dah beli dulu, baru you nak promote people, please share your work there, please participate. But again, at the end of the day, the return on investment, you yang kena jawab. Okay, so jangan masuk dalam trap itu. Okay, make do with what you have. Banyak open source ada, you ada wikis, macam mana you nak make people share. Dulu masa saya pernah pergi satu knowledge sharing, there's one company from Mauritius, but this one was about 20 years ago lah. Yang buat pakaian panas dia kata people dekat production line tu, dia punya IT skill sangat rendah. But how do they share their knowledge? How do they share their problems? Okay, dia letak satu whiteboard besar. That is where they put the problems, and siapa ada solution tulis di whiteboard tersebut. That will do. Okay, so as long as you can make people share, kalau bukan secara bukan secara online pun, you can have it face to face. You can have computer of practice. You boleh ada knowledge cafe. You boleh ada storytelling and many more. Okay. Very minimal focus is given to roles and responsibility, which represent the people's side of the program. We are talking about tech-seed knowledge asset. Okay, kita then we keep on asking apa beza IM dengan KM. We always overlook on the tech-seed part. kita masih lagi as librarian, kita masih lagi focusing on the explicit knowledge, which is the documented knowledge, which is the dalam bentuk databases and whatnot. Okay, so kita masih lagi fokus kepada itu, which is not what knowledge management is all about. Okay, sebab knowledge management is about the process of promoting the sharing, promoting the knowledge creation, promoting knowledge distribution and transfer. Yang itu kita kena highlight lebih. Okay, so lack of poor organization-wide governance. Okay, so we don't have a proper KM structure. Kita tak ada, we don't discuss about what is going to be the reward and how, what is measured and how. You want people to share, they will keep on asking, knowledge is power, why should I share my power? Okay, apa yang saya benefit from sharing to everybody? Okay, okay, people might, kita boleh letak pelbagai cara lah. Macam mana kita nak, contoh we want to promote knowledge sharing dan sebagainya, because we set the policy. Okay, but again it has to be it must come together with the rewards dan sebagainya. Rewards tak semestinya berbentuk duit, it can be just a piece of sijil saying that, you know, those also help. Okay, okay, absence of inefficient smart incentive system. Ini tadi kita sebut how you want to motivate these people. KM activities are not linked to people's performance evaluation. For a start, even dulu masa saya interview Petronas, kemudian saya interview Bank Negara, they have 3% dalam performance evaluation tu untuk knowledge sharing punya contribution tu, ada 3% of the marks when they started to run knowledge management. So later dia dah jadi culture, dah tak ada dah. Okay, the absence of a dedicated central KM unit to run and manage the program. Ini satu lagi, you have to have a dedicated unit. Sama ada kalau we talk about a library, dalam library tu kena ada satu dedicated unit. I think library dah ada, cuma I think the role and function tu kena betul lah. Not about managing information still, it has to manage knowledge as well. Okay, absence of well-trained KM representative in each department, kena ada wakil-wakil, selalu ada department tu, macam di Bank Negara tu dia ada knowledge officer dalam setiap department. Okay, dan dia akan duduk sekali, so dia consist of the knowledge management unit tu, they have all this representative dari setiap department. Okay, absence of inefficient change management. Knowledge management is about change management. Okay, resistant to change. Kenapa saya nak, they will keep on asking, kenapa we have to have KM? Selama ni saya share knowledge, selama ni saya create new knowledge, but why is it now you start to initiate a new thing called knowledge management that encourage everybody to participate and macam-macam lah. So memang ada dalam apa jua that we wanted to initiate, akan ada resistance to change. Okay, and lack of poor enforcement activity to cement people's strive to continue living the KM, which is very true. We want everybody to participate. Kita kata contohlah, saya bagi katalah performance evaluation ada 3%, siapa yang participate, then yang tak participate pun dapat pula. Okay, so itu those are all human factor. Then contohnya siapa yang tak balik from training kena buat knowledge sharing. You tak buat knowledge sharing, the next training ataupun the next kursus you tak boleh attend, contoh. But some people boleh pula walaupun dia tak buat knowledge sharing. So you have to have enforcement activity tu betul lah. So okay, yang ini saya tak payah go through explicit knowledge. We are all very familiar with explicit knowledge. It is about documentation, reports, books, proceedings. And tacit knowledge is something intangible, invisible, not easily recognized, not easily articulated, documented or encoded. Okay, it is embedded within a person in a form of growing learning. From the day one kita masuk dalam organisation, from day one until we retire, it is a growing learning experience. Okay, our skill grow every day, our know-how and also expertise. That is where we want to capitalize. Okay, that is what knowledge management is focusing at. Okay. Okay, so kalau kita tengok iceberg punya konsep, yang sebelah atas tu explicit knowledge. Those are the things that we can see, also known as our know what. We can easily capture using documentation. Kita boleh now dengan digital technology, you ambil gambar terus dapat. Okay, whereas tacit knowledge, you have to have certain tools ataupun certain initiative di mana macam mana kita nak capture experience. How do we capture ideas, intuition, comments, insight dan sebagainya. Contoh, sebab itu kita kena formalizekan mentor and mentee, kita kena formalizekan apprenticeship, we have to formalizekan digital storytelling now dengan adanya YouTube, dah ada digital storytelling. You know, there are some kind of knowledge yang tidak boleh kita ajar secara tulis. Okay, we cannot, contohlah tadi, bila saya kata roti canai, kita kata okay, kalau nak buat roti canai, you nak train another person, you tak boleh kata okay tak apalah, you tuliskan. Contoh yang buat air dengan buat roti canai. You tak boleh kata yang buat air, you cakaplah nanti kalau gelas besar tu letak berapa seduh air, berapa seduh Milo, berapa seduh Nescafe, gula dan sebagainya. Senang nak tulis. But when come to tacit knowledge, contoh yang buat roti canai, cuba you tulis macam mana nak tebar roti canai tu. Okay, satu tangan atas, satu tangan bawah. Lepas tu, you tebarlah pusing. You cannot put it in writing. Not as easy as that. So that is the know-how. You kena guna approach yang berbeza, you kena ambil video, kena tengok berkali-kali, kena experience, mungkin you kena tag along. Sama lah macam dalam organisation where I said the person who are in charge of server, bila berlaku saja server down, within 1 year tu they manage to attach one guy to jadi apprentice kepada Encik Sulaiman. So every time within a year, every time server down, that person boleh buat scenario capturing. Okay, ini problem dia apa, ini solution dia apa, dia ambil video, dia ambil gambar, dia duduk sekali dengan Encik Sulaiman, and mungkin bukan semua tapi dia dapat banyak yang dia boleh dapat. Okay. Okay, how knowledge loss occurs. Okay, knowledge loss macam tadi kita kata when people retire, the loss of talent in the workforce over time apabila employee departure, including resignation, layoff, termination, retirements, location transfer or death. Okay, so departing employees will take with them all their tacit knowledge asset. Okay, those are all knowledge asset. So increased employee retirement also drive losses in productivity and efficiency. Biasanya kalau kita nak ambil orang baru, it will take at least 6 months, okay, untuk the new person belajar what they are given to them, okay. Therefore, firm must not take for granted and a strategic KM need to be implemented to prevent knowledge loss, okay. Macam tadilah, kalau kita nak kira, kita train our staff berapa million so far, kan? So how do we keep on sending every year? It is our responsibility untuk train and retrain, okay. Tapi how do we benefit from those competency development, okay? Okay, biasanya knowledge are all scattered dalam organisation. Okay, lots of valuable knowledge is usually not noticed, usually not stored and utilized. Okay, it is all scattered everywhere until knowledge is lost when the employee leaves the organisation. Okay, yang tadi kita sebut tentang or we call it as knowledge walkout phenomenon. Bila a person retire or a person resign, baru kita tahu, oh, if only alamak ada benda yang kita tak tap lagi from the person. Okay, to strategically manage organisation knowledge asset, a structured knowledge management initiative need to be adopted. So knowledge management is about a structured approach of managing knowledge asset. Sebab itu that is what knowledge management is all about. It has to be structured, it has to be formalized. Okay, knowledge sharing kita nak formalizekan, knowledge creation nak diformalizekan supaya we have a proper knowledge initiative yang lebih teratur. Okay, all the knowledge process tu dibuat secara intentionally. Okay, so increasing number of organization worldwide starting adopting knowledge management. Now dia dah tukar nama. Dulu they have award macam quality award, Baldrige quality award. Now they have most admired knowledge enterprise around the world. Cuma I think last year dia rename, last 2 years I think dia rename. Tapi dia ada dekat Malaysia tak ada, but banyak Asian countries dah ada. Dan companies yang biasa jadi finalist most admired knowledge enterprise adalah company like HP, IBM, Accenture, Tata, siapa lagi? Skandia. Those are all example of most admired knowledge enterprise. Okay, yang ini pun saya tak nak. Okay, cuma saya nak kata explicit knowledge, siapa yang memang susah nak manage. However, nak stresskan the information professionals, we are talking about information system, information management, librarians, we are all specialized. We are specially trained in managing explicit knowledge for many years. Okay, we are all expert in this area. Okay, researchers and practitioners in computer information science has well-defined skill and expertise in information. Okay, or kita sebut information as codified knowledge. Whereas tacit knowledge ni, dia since it is originated in people's mind, embedded dalam employees or business processes, dengan complexity of work environment and keep on changing from time to time, and it is being created and redefined, dia menjadi lebih susah. And without a proper strategy in managing, that knowledge can easily become irrelevant or obsolete. You tahu hari ini, and 2 or 3 years time, mungkin dah obsolete easily. So that's where you kena, contohlah, tak semestinya yang you rasa today is not relevant, but in few years, it can be very much relevant. Okay? Okay. Bila kita selalu kata, Francis Bacon kata knowledge is power, but acknowledging the power of knowledge is not enough. We have to be committed, kita kena manage the knowledge process or activities tu. What are the knowledge process? Kita kena manage all the knowledge culture or the knowledge sharing culture, knowledge creation, knowledge utilization and whatnot. So kita kena manage that process. Okay, so that is where knowledge management cycle ataupun the extension of ataupun kita nak kata bezanya IM dengan KM tu. Okay, so we have to manage the KM process, knowledge process, sorry. So we have to have a strategic knowledge management with a clear policy. Kita ada clear objective, kita kena ada clear activities and procedures. However, there's no one size fits all. Kita kata JKR boleh buat ni, Bank Negara buat ni, Petronas boleh buat ini, then we should, okay, kita pun boleh buat ni. No, there is no one size fits all. Every organisation ada dia punya own constraint. Okay, so kita kena make do with what we have. Sebab itu kita kena tahu what is our direction, apa kita punya objektif. So which is the best techniques that we want to follow, that is most important. Okay, sebab tu benchmarking is very important. Buat a short survey to make sure that whether your people understand what KM is all about. Okay, okay, so what is KM? KM is about developing the value of knowledge continuously. Bila kita ada knowledge management tu, it has to be done continuously and moving the knowledge throughout the organisation so that it can be used to improve performance. Okay. Contohnya macam ni, dulu saya pernah involved dengan IBM punya, Mesin Niaga punya One Knowledge Management exercise. Okay, dia nak buat knowledge audit. Okay, dia nak tahu apa dia ada dalam organisation dia, what they have, what they don't have. Dia kumpulkan staff dalam satu big hall, and they have setiap department ada table-table sendiri, a round table. Okay, so everybody, setiap department dia kena ada dia punya list of activities, business processes and whatnot, on all the KPIs, dan dia kena tahu what knowledge do they need, dan dia kena kenal pasti what they have and what they don't have. Okay, so setiap table tu buat benda yang sama. Okay, so lepas masing-masing dah kata okay, ini kita punya department objective, our knowledge that we need is this. Katalah dia ada 12. Okay, but we only have 8. 4 is missing yang kita tak ada. Okay, so what they did after that adalah, okay, let's do knowledge shopping. Okay, so department A, contohlah reference department, dia akan pergi ke cataloging department. So dia tukar position. So tukar position, dia nampak contohlah, okay, saya nak kena ada sebenarnya, because kalau you run training, you nak kena ada database of users contoh. Okay, ataupun suppliers, because I need to know from time to time. I have continuous program contoh. Oh, they have databases of suppliers ataupun contact. Oh, yang ini very good. Okay, so you kata, oh, you add on to your knowledge acquisition tu. Okay, then seterusnya berpusing macam tu sampai siap. Maybe yang tadi knowledge yang you perlu, you have 12, dan you tidak ada 4. At the end of the session, you sebenarnya tinggal 1 je yang tak ada. Yang lain tu semua ada dekat orang lain. Okay, they develop their own database. Sebab kita work in silo, macam di UiTM kita ada banyak sistem. Especially when we have our student yang buat programming dan organisasi. Sebab IT is a common skill yang subjek yang perlu diajar. So engineering pun ada student buat sistem, tempat lain pun ada. Jadi end up kita ada macam-macam sistem. Booking of bilik, booking of peralatan sukan lain, semua ada macam-macam. Jadi berbagai-bagai, ataupun as simple as contoh, kalau memang kita punya standard procedure tertentu, SOP tertentu, how you do filing dan sebagainya. Tapi mungkin ada department lain dia buat some innovation yang kita tidak tahu. We want to learn from them. Okay, so bila kita tahu dalam organisation tu dah ada department lain yang buat ada best practices, we want to put it in the middle. Okay, that belongs to everybody. So everybody boleh guna sistem itu, everybody boleh add on dan sebagainya. So we want to move the knowledge, atau we want to unify the knowledge for everybody's use. Okay, so knowledge management in other terms is kita nak capitalize organizational strategic knowledge asset for better job performance through a structured approach of managing the knowledge. Identifying, capturing, developing, sharing dan sebagainya. Okay, so that is the keywords, a structured one, a systematic one. Okay. Okay, KPMG describe KM as the systematic and organized. Rich and Lindsay also define it has to have a communicated KM policy and outcomes. Okay. Okay, saya nak pergi dekat sini. Okay, kalau you go and look at knowledge management process, memang banyaklah. Kalau you pergi, there are so many, you can pick any, mana-mana you rasa comfortable. Okay, dan biasanya some will propose 7 process, ada yang propose 8 process, which they combine, contoh knowledge identification and knowledge acquisition, sama je. Okay. Okay, these are all the explanation of it. Okay, apa beza information management and knowledge management? Information management focuses on explicit knowledge asset, managing organization information resources to improve organization performance, emphasizing on processing and preserving information resources, and largely uses ICT. Okay, whereas the KM has broader perspective than IM. They manage both explicit and tacit. Okay, they add value to knowledge resources. Okay, you have that statistic, you have that information. How do you add value to that? How does it inform contoh your decision making, your strategic planning dan sebagainya. So you focuses on the processes of creating, acquiring, capturing dan sebagainya. Okay, and KM use both technology and human behavioral approach at the same time. Sebab kita tak boleh tertinggal this one, human behavioral approach. Okay, we have very nice system, we have very nice technology, but the human aspect has to be addressed. Okay, regardless of which approach you nak adopt, the ultimate objective, kita nak KM acts a driving force to facilitate knowledge activities. Okay, that is the main objective, yeah. Okay, is knowledge management a process or a function? Rasa-rasanya, is it a process or a function? Knowledge management is a process sebab knowledge is continuously being created. Kita create knowledge, kita share knowledge. Setiap hari new knowledge is being created, new knowledge are being shared among colleagues dan sebagainya. We transfer knowledge, we use to perform organizational tasks dan sebagainya. KM involves in activities yang tadi saya sebut, all the processes. However, so in this aspect, kita consider KM, a knowledge is a process lah. KM is actually a process. However, to make sure that the adoption is strategically being materialized ataupun established, kita kena ada, we have to treat knowledge management as a function. Okay, kita kena treat knowledge management as a function. So getting started, sometimes people start with technology sebab tu yang saya kata most admired knowledge enterprise seperti IBM, HP dan sebagainya, because they are already in that business, dia dah ada teknologi dan sebagainya. So they can start with technologies, some start with best practices for engineering, ada top-down approach decision making. Accounting is another sebab tu company like Accenture, KPMG, they are very also into KM sebab they are measuring the they are also what was the term lupa saya, accounting. Tak apa, nanti saya ingat saya ni. Dealing with the organizational learning, because we learn from mistake, we don't want to make more mistake, we capture our lesson learned, okay, leveraging on existing approach, contohnya our change management, our quality department dan sebagainya. So for that, kita kena kalau kita treat dia as a function, then we have to set up KM, okay. Macam tadi Dr. Alwi ada mention, when one question there was a question asked whether should library champion KM ataupun sebagainya. KM does not belongs to anyone. Okay, dan dalam organisation an ideal setting is KM kena independent, but at your level dalam you punya organisation, meaning dalam library, you can have your KM functional unit, boleh. Okay, tapi for the whole organisation, we are talking about university as a whole, library tidak cukup keupayaan ataupun knowledge yang kita ada sebagai librarian, sebab tu dia kena ada representative dari people from several department. Okay, so biasanya they report direct to maybe VC ke, they report that functional unit report direct to Timbalan Naib Chancellor ke, timbalan akademik ke, ataupun biasanya akademik lah. So biasanya dia ada separate unit by itself. So representative from all these various department akan duduk di situ, because they will have steering committee for that. Okay, so at library level, yes, you can have, kalau you nak start knowledge management di library itself. So di library sendiri kena ada satu functional unit, a small unit will do pun tak apa. Then dalam functional unit tu kena ada representative from reference, from cataloging, from being assigned sebagai knowledge manager. Okay, so kadang-kadang kita tak boleh, kalau big organisation kita tak nak tunggu, memang tak boleh. You have to start small. So maybe you want to start at your level first. Okay. Okay, you want to start technology or people, back then I think about early 2000 ataupun late 90s memang people start with technology track. Okay, but most important is actually people track. Okay, dan you have to inculcate the knowledge culture dulu. As I say again, it is about your return on investment. Sebab itu sekarang ni you have no choice, it has to go together, technology and people. Okay. Okay, this one is an example yang all these people and technology and whatnot. Okay, so this is example dan saya ambil dari Serat 2010. Okay, first thing yang paling bawah sekali adalah awareness. Okay, you have to make people aware what KM is all about. You yourself must be aware of, you must understand what KM is all about. Okay, supaya direction to clear. Then only you start with strategy. You have to have target areas. Dalam library pun mungkin kita nak start di satu department dulu. Okay, so knowledge taxonomy, librarian has no problem with that sebab developing classification tu dah memang kerja librarian. They are very good in, at taxonomy. Taxonomy ni macam ni, corporate taxonomy ni memang orang lain might have difficulty, tapi librarian I think you can, sebab tu kalau dalam organisation yang KM di higher level tu, you can contribute your expertise dalam developing taxonomy. Okay, sebab kenapa? Sebab dalam KM organisation will start to develop dia punya own classification system. Sebab organisation might have their own term of reference in all kinds of structured area, sebab everybody ada dia punya own direction. Okay, so we are good at that. Okay. Okay, next is benchmarking. I think it is good for you to go and visit mana-mana KM organisation yang ada KM, visit, and they are very willing. I think after this is Dr. Hizar, Haril Hizar. I do call him also from time to time to talk with my student, get in touch with him. He's very much willing to help. Okay. Okay, so you have to be very clear what your KM is all about. Adakah you want to create knowledge repository? Okay, so you will have all this. Again, bila create repository, the content of your repository is very important. What is it you want to put? Kalau benda yang sama, it is a documented form, macam tadi saya bagi example Sirim tadi, they want to put things like apa tu, the one that already being published, the researchers they are not interested. So you ask your people apa yang they all nak. Okay, dulu masa saya dipanggil oleh EPF, okay, the boss is not happy with he was not happy with the staff because they have already started KM about 2 or 3 years dulu. Tapi now bila saya they ask, then saya tanya, what is your strategic knowledge asset? Okay, only you know what is your strategic knowledge asset. Okay, you kena faham apa you nak. For the library, apa kita nak. Okay, that is the thing, that no point of having that repository, then at the end of the day, kita jadi librarian, kita pun sedih. It is not fully utilized, people tak nak share dalam tu, you know. So, apa sebenarnya yang kita, the objective has to be very clear. Or, you want to support knowledge accessibility and transfer. Okay, it can be, again, You nak tahu who's who in your organisation. You nak create a knowledge expert dalam your organisation. It can be all these objectives that you have to, you can go satu-satu dulu, ataupun you can go 3 at the same time. And objective ni saya ambil dari David Ford and Prusek also. Okay, so you can choose which one you rasa comfortable to start with. Okay.
Doctor,
Okay.
we have about 5 more minutes, please.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. So when you want to do KM, it can be centralized approach, it can be decentralized approach. So dua-dua ada advantage and disadvantages lah. Kalau big organisation, kalau centralized approach, of course top down approach will be very relevant lah. Kalau tidak, and then I said it's going to be very difficult because kalau you want to wait, you cannot wait. Sebab tu you can start small at your own department level. Okay, I think again ask yourself as librarian. Tadi I think the first speaker ada kata kenapa why is it KM is not championed by librarians. Okay, again librarian kena faham, if they want to champion, they must understand what KM is all about. Okay, again, it is not about system sahaja. You have to understand how do you facilitate knowledge acquisition, knowledge sharing, and knowledge application. Macam mana you nak enhance this transformation. So you have to learn and relearn. You have to upskill your staff. How do you recognize the potential of technology? How do you capitalize COPs? Then you have to facilitate the key management and policy dan sebagainya. So bukan kerja librarian alone. Macam tadi saya kata, it has to be, it has to consist by that so many people in the organisation. Okay, factor leading to KM, I think ini sama je. The success factors, kalau Rivers dengan YKM fail, inilah dia. Okay, so it is the same thing. Okay. Okay, alright. Again, kalau kita kata kita nak letak knowledge management in libraries, we have to understand, yes, we are the knowledge reservoir, but please focus more on the text knowledge now. Okay, knowledge must be retained to avoid knowledge loss. Okay, knowledge must be renewed and expanded. Knowledge must be shared and transferred. Okay, bila kita kata knowledge is being transferred, sharing is not transferring. Okay, when we talk about knowledge transfer, kita transmit and absorb and we use. That is only transfer. We can put everything on the web, tapi kalau orang tak tengok pun no point. Okay, so it is through mentoring, apprenticeship antaranya. These are example of how kita nak capitalize text knowledge. Okay, so we are all very experienced in managing information, but it is now about managing the text knowledge. I try to we are all of us, kita rasa macam kalau kita tak acknowledge what the librarian has, kita macam tak value our work. Okay, our expertise in the libraries. Okay, right. All right. So I think that ends my presentation. Thank you very much.
Okay. Terima kasih Dr. Siti Nur Arfah, panjang lebar ya, apa peranan kita sebagai librarian, dan saya rasa peranan kita itu penting, dan walau bagaimanapun kita masih lagi banyak lagi perkara yang kita kena upgrade ourselves as librarian to make KM ni successful ya. Okay, kita ada beberapa soalan di sini yang di chat ya, Doktor, saya bacakan. Okay. Daripada Hashima Mustafa UIAM, katanya, do you think marketing skill among librarians are not strong enough, which causes lack of buy-in on KM, especially among the stakeholder? Saya pun berfikir yang sama, kenapa sampai hari ini kita masih lagi belum mampu ya untuk promote KM as a total di organisasi kita kan. So ini soalan yang pertama lah. Ada lagi mungkin yang dululah Doktor.
Okay, alright. kalau nak kata marketing skill lebih kepada, I think konsep marketing tu beza sikit lah. Okay, persuasive skill, sebab marketing tu kalau konsep, saya tahu kebanyakan orang menggunakan perkataan marketing tu lebih kepada marketing ataupun marketing tu is more than that. It's more than promoting. It is more, of course marketing selalu involve pricing. It's involve the scope is much bigger. I think persuasive skill, but in order for you to get buy-in, sebenarnya you yourself kena faham what KM is all about. Okay, when people start to ask you how would KM benefit the organization as a whole, you cannot relate, then it is very difficult. Sebab tu alignment of your KM objective kena selari dengan the top management. Dan personally I think kalau dalam academic because I am also an academician, I always, pada saya it is more of kalau you nak cakap dengan academician, you kena cakap dengan data, facts maksud saya. So you must have your research skill is very important. Okay, so you kena ada research skill yang kuat supaya bila you nak propose something to your top management, you kata this is based on our research begini, or this is based on our research from, you have to do, it doesn't have to be a survey, it has to be, it can be a qualitative research yang you talk one-to-one, you can collect data from the academicians or the librarians and whatnot. So pada saya, you have to have a solid foundation of what KM is all about dan macam mana that KM can benefit the whole organisation.
Maknanya kita kena impress je with the value of KM tu sendiri.
Yeah, kalau you, because sekarang ni orang tak nampak peranan librarian. Okay, without KM pun, lagi dengan ada KM, okay, now dengan KM, you are talking about repository. How does knowledge repository bagi impact kepada the university as a whole?
So itu yang
sebab tu kalau kita nak start KM project, kita start with the pain points. Okay, kat mana yang university are having problems with? Okay, KM biasanya dia akan cari dekat antara pain points di mana yang kita boleh address, dekat situ. Oh, how do we start KM here? Contohlah kita ada complaints on certain things. So okay, maybe kita boleh start to address this thing by implementing KM. How do we address it? Okay.
Okey, saya teruskan ke soalan kedua. Soalannya agak, saya rasa ini perlu panjang lebar ni ya, Doktor. Assalamualaikum Doktor, UiTM bertuah kerana ada pakar KM dalaman. Boleh Doktor kongsikan framework KM dan projek KM yang dilaksanakan di UiTM secara keseluruhannya? Apakah sistem yang digunakan untuk KM di UiTM tersebut?
Ini dari UiTM ke bukan?
Dari Marhaniza Halim.
Okay. Untuk we do publish one publication on, tapi I rasa that one is, I think it is a bit obsolete. Kita buat macam mana kita buat dua-dua approach, IT dan juga people track punya KM knowledge management. Kita pernah share dalam satu conference di UUM dulu. Tapi saya rasa now kalau nak tengok framework, I will share with you all. Sebenarnya the government of Malaysia has already started, mampu dah start buat satu blueprint. Okay, tapi projek tu pun dimampu tidak berjalan. I can share, I have that blueprint. Memang cantik dah. Kalau you nak ubah, you boleh ubah dari situ sedikit. You can go that blueprint tu memang mampu buat macam mana they want to initiate KM di public sector. Tapi sekitar tahun I think about 5-6 years ago saya pergi, bila big data dah masuk, dia dah fokus kepada big data. Tapi I have that blueprint, you can follow that blueprint. I can share with you. It is a public sector punya blueprint yang disediakan oleh mampu. I can share.
Okey Doktor, saya rasa masa sangat untuk bagi kita. Tapi saya bolehlah rumuskan di sini bahawa peranan library itu masih lagi bagi KM ini masih sangat banyak yang perlu kita buat sebenarnya ya, sebab kekeliruan mengenai KM itu sendiri perlu dijelaskan, dan yang penting pada saya adalah how we buy in daripada top management supaya mereka boleh support kita punya semua inisiatif KM dalam organisasi itu. Jadi sebelum saya mengakhiri ini, boleh saya minta Doktor sepatah dua kata pesanan kepada semua bakal-bakal KP dan juga TKP di sini, bagaimana mereka boleh menyumbang kepada KM di organisasi masing-masing.
Okay. Saya suka ambil balik apa yang Puan Moderator mention about to get the buy-in from the top management. Again, macam tadi saya kata, the first thing, your knowledge on KM kena solid first. Okay, itu satu. Dan nak to get the buy-in, kadang-kadang people at the top, dia memang dia dah lebih advance dari kita. Because apa yang lacking is actually kalau saya nak bagi sedikit ulasan lah, apa yang lacking among librarians is that business knowledge tu. I think kita dah terlalu kita we are very good in our own domain, tapi when we talk about the organization, we are talking about business entity, okay, be it private sector ataupun public sector. Apabila kita bercakap tentang business entity, kita kena tahu business flow, kita kena tahu the environment. Jadi bila kita nak dapat buy-in, kita kena selalu relate dengan persekitaran. We're talking about political factors, environmental, technological, social and whatnot. So dia akan impactnya perlu ke arah itu. So I think business knowledge is very important for the KP and TKP to ada this business knowledge punya environment lah. So itu yang saya rasa lebih mudah kalau kita nak bercakap dengan people at the top.
Okay, terima kasih kepada Yang Berusaha Teknologi Dr. Siti Nur Arfa Nordin. Perkongsian tadi tu banyak yang mana refresh kita balik, mana yang dah buat tu dia refresh balik, and dia memberi kita motivasi atau idea untuk kita bermula meningkatkan lagi inisiatif kita terhadap KM ini. Saya pun rasa semasa di UTM juga, saya rasa saya bertuah juga sebab NC UTM itu dia sangat aware tentang peranan library. Dia kata you are knowledge managers, you are knowledge specialist, dia kata. Jadi dia yang push kita untuk dan kita realize that we have so many things that we didn't manage. We are so busy with information that we lack. Jadi saya melihat untuk masa depan, saya melihat cabarannya adalah dari segi digital pula lah, dari social media, where we can, it's too fast moving that kita kena cari jalan bagaimana nak tap all this basic knowledge seperti kata Dr. Arfa tadi lah. Jadi itu cabarannya lah bagi KP-KP dan TKP-TKP baru untuk terus menjalankan KM ini dalam situasi baru. Dulu kurang mencabar, tak adanya digital banyak, tapi sekarang digital, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok dan sebagainya lagi. So ini lagi satu cabaran besar kepada kita, tapi kita juga harus menjadikan diri kita sebagai champion dalam KM ini. Itu rumusan dari saya, dan saya rasa saya bagi pihak usaha ingin mengucapkan banyak terima kasih kepada Dr. Siti Arfa di atas perkongsian tadi, dan diharapkan ia akan memberi manfaat kepada kita semua, insyaAllah. Okey, saya serahkan majlis seterusnya kepada pengurusi majlis, Encik Faisal, silakan.
Alhamdulillah, terima kasih diucapkan kepada Yang Berusaha Teknologis Dr. Siti Arfa binti Nordin di atas perkongsian sebentar tadi. Dan majlis juga ingin mengucapkan ribuan terima kasih kepada moderator Puan Muazzah bin Syahrudin. Para hadirin yang dihormati, untuk sesi yang terakhir, mohon para hadirin untuk mengaktifkan kamera masing-masing untuk sesi bergambar sebagai tanda kenang-kenangan. Dalam kiraan 3, 1, semua dah sedia. Okay. 1, 2 dan 3. Okey, masih lagi dalam apa mengekalkan senyuman. Boleh buat thumbs up untuk kita sama-sama sesi yang seterusnya. Dalam keadaan 3, 2 dan 1. Okey, ucapan terima kasih di atas kerjasama tuan-tuan dan puan-puan semua. Jadi insyaAllah kita ucapkan terima kasihlah dan kita akan sambung pada sesi yang seterusnya pada pukul 3.45.
Okay, terima kasih semua.